Everybody, what's up? This is Trey. So my cousin has sent me a link to this pastor by the name of Matthew Stevenson, and he was talking about some things that be, going on in church. And when he said that, it kind of reminded me of some things that I experienced being inside a church. The only thing I wanted to do was share my experiences based off of what he talked about. You feel me? So this is not a video where we're going to sit here and debate about religion and God. So far, you internet trolls that, like to feel inspired to do things like that, you're going to be in a ring fighting all by yourself. Stay tuned to this video.
Leaders that will go creeping like old pedophiles on Facebook. That there are whole apostles that have built their entire ministry off of secretly lurking on people's social medias, sending prophecies in the inbox. They say about Instagram, it goes down in the DM. They go into, Diane, there's something about you. I feel a connection. I'm your leader. I'm your father. And really, to the undiscerning, especially if you reject it, if you abandon, any attention is better than no attention at all. Leaders that email people, and the basis of their ministry is the discrediting of other people. It's like the way that they build their church is by making sure that people know that the last church they came from wasn't worth it or wasn't good enough.
Everybody, what's up? So you've seen the video about Matthew Stevenson talking about how you have these pastors that their congregation become big because what happens is they're literally stealing members from folks' churches who are rejects or are going through church hurt. And they're like pedophiles. They get on Facebook, they scroll up and down people's pages, they do their homework, and they study. Because I had a pastor do this to me before. And he had preached at my church. And then he noticed me, and at the church, he knew I was a musician that I played. So he came up to me and started saying, I noticed that you're not like really in the crowd like the other members are. And sometimes when things like that happen, it's normally due to church hurt. See, I never experienced church hurt. What he did was he judged me by the way I looked, and he judged me on my demeanor because I'm not loud. You feel me? I go in church, I sit down, get the word of God, I bounce. So because I'm not doing flips and slobbering all at the altar, he figures that I'm not receiving from God all that I should be receiving. So he goes, at my church, we don't have a musician. See, that's how they get you. And that's how a lot of people leave their assigned church and start roaming and going to these other churches because people feel that if they're not being used at their church, there's no need for them to be there. You feel me? So I already knew what time it was. I was thinking to myself like, man, what he gonna do is try to get me to go to his church. But like how he did his homework assignment, I did my homework assignment. So I went to his church, sat in his ministry, looked around, started seeing different members from, all these different churches. Now we got the name for these churches: New Life, Bread from Heaven, Breath of God. And I was like, oh, City of Refuge in the house. Oh, it almost looked like a conference, like a all these churches came together and they had church. But what it was just different people from different churches who got hurt. This person slept with this person, so they was embarrassed and they left this church and they were just all these hurting people. So I started playing and the dude came over there. See, what God is trying to do for you this season, sister musician, is take you to another level. And when people don't recognize your level, they don't know how to appreciate you. If they don't know the call of God that's on your life, they don't know how to deal with you. And I'm just sitting there playing like, oh God. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to trick me to make me think that my church don't love me and that they don't appreciate me so that I can be like, yes. Yes. And you get so many people that get caught up in emotion, especially when that music starts playing, because the Bible was talking about how David had the ability to play evil spirits out of Saul through his music. So music is very powerful. Music knows how to make you laugh, cry, giggle, scream, shout, whatever. And as I started playing, he thought that I was going to be influenced by the music and then get weak and be like, I'm going to leave my church because they don't love me. But he don't understand. See, I may be young, but I was taught by them old mothers of the church. You feel me? You feel me? I'm not moved by everything. So I just kept playing. And I was just listening to him. And then he goes, but I guarantee you this. You need to get up under a covering that's going to allow you to be you. In other words, what he was saying was, he started talking about the church that he just preached at, which was my church. And he started putting my pastor down on the slick side. Start saying that, my church wasn't thriving. And I was like, wow, that's the same thing that Pastor Stevenson was just talking about. You get these pastors that they start downing everybody else's ministry so that you can see the weakness in that ministry so that you can leave and come to their church. And all those people inside of the audience were looking at me like, oh, yes, sister, we love you here. And I said, you know what? This is a cult. It's almost moving into the form of a cult. It's like spiritual manipulation. And all these people are being tricked. They don't even know that the shepherd that they're under has led all those sheep to the slaughterhouse. And if I had been weak, I probably would have been like, you're right. This is the church for me. But because I got the spirit of discernment, which I don't go around telling folks, I was like, yeah, this is my last Sunday here. This is my last Sunday. So I played for him. And when it was over, he came up to me and said, God said that your hands are anointed. And I was like, you're right. My hands are anointed. And he said, and you just don't play the piano, but you do other things. I don't know what it is that you do, but he said, I see you doing this. I see you like this and just doing this. I don't know what this is. And somebody screamed out and said, she's a barber. She cut hair. And he looked and said, is that what that is? You cut hair? And I was like, yeah, I cut hair. I wasn't like, oh, yeah, I cut hair. God, you told him that. See, get caught up in the hype. I just said, you know what? He did research on me. What he did was he found out who my cousins were, went to their page, found me, and then looked at the cover of my Facebook page, which has me, my name, and my clippers. So let you know, hey, Trey a barber. So that's what he did, and that's how he started prophesying on me. And I'm very careful of what I put on Facebook because I know about those, like Matthew Stevenson said, those pastors who are like pedophiles that be going around snooping. You feel me? And they prey on babies, those weak saints. They're baby saints because a mature saint wouldn't have fell for that. So they're like underage saints, pedophiles. Yeah. Pedophile pastors. But I just want to share my experience with you. And I agree with what Pastor Matthew Stevenson has said. And that's it. I ain't trying to turn this thing to no fight, no debate, whatever. Just wanted to share that with you. But what I can say is y'all keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open because real men and women of God, they don't lead their sheep to the slaughterhouse. You feel me? They don't rape their ministry. I'm Trey. I'm out, y'all.